Linn Meyer Kongshavn, welcome to the Theatre Café Webinar Series.
Thank you.
You are a theatre director and occasionally producer, and you currently work as an artistic consultant at the Norwegian Actor Centre.
Right.
You have made shows for young audiences in Norway. Can you tell us about your impression of Norwegian theatre for young audiences at the moment? What's the status?
Well, my impression is that it's a rising status. It seems like more and more people want to do theatre for young audiences, and there's more money in it too from the government, and also it's kind of becoming cool, and it has, when it comes to interactive theatre for children and young audiences, it's people find it really, great, fun, and it's the way forward, seems like, at the moment.
What about if we talk about new writing specifically? I think traditionally in Norway, theatre for young audiences, particularly the touring companies, the school touring companies, have been devising a lot. Is that still the case? Is there room for the kind of well-made play?
Are you asking if there's room for new writing or for... Yeah. I think so. I think it's actually coming more and more, and if people it's the same old story. If people want to make have a huge income on it, then they go to the more kind of traditional stuff that the parents know. But it seems to me when it comes to the touring companies that are being under their quest, the
cultural backpack, the cultural rucksack.
Exactly. It seems like that's where they're really allowed to do new writing or devised or but I'm unsure of how much new writing is going on. I know there's a lot of devising going on, but new writing for young audiences I'm not sure if that's on a rise.
Do you think that in order for a writer to be a part of the scene in Norway for young audiences, do they have to get engaged with devising? They have to work with the company, that sitting in your own living room or behind your desk and writing the play and sending it off and hoping for somebody to discover it is not really the way it works at all?
I think you're right. I think it has, in my experience anyway, I think there's a lot more going on when everyone's together and the writer is right there in the room, and preferably even on the floor as we, trying to develop a piece. And my experience is that the success happens when the writer's there and is able to leave, come back with what's happened, and it's put into writing, and then the actors get to improvise and try it out, and it's when it doesn't work is when the writer isn't there. Actually, yeah.
So you think that the writer does have a necessary position that's perhaps missing in a lot of devising processes at the moment?
Yeah, because I think it's the textual quality has a tendency to kind of, I don't know if it's a decline or it's not as solid in a way. So when you have both the writer there and the actors and they get to interact, it seems like then you get a piece or a script that really works for the floor, for for the theatre perspective, and also it's it has a high textual quality, and it dramaturgically it's really going somewhere, and it's
But in a way, I think what you're describing, what we're talking about, is a change of the role of the writer, or the kind of person that a writer is. If traditionally one has imagined a writer as being a solitary person, that actually we're looking at a very social beast.
I think it's again, my experience is that it's it's almost the only way to me, for new writing. It is the way for everyone to come together. And also sometimes it's the most efficient way for something to drive it forward and to make it work, and to if you're lucky, you can try it out on an audience as well, and then but of course the writer has to be allowed to have what do you call it, the status of the writer. Not that, so at some point the writer should be allowed to say, but it's my work now. I need to be able to do what I need to do, and then come back with it, and together with the director to also draw up the lines, the borders of how this collaboration should work. Because some people thrive in free-for-all, some people need those kind of borders and the hierarchy of when is it enough, when is it a go. So there needs to be a good kind of communication about this beforehand.
And and also a flexibility on both parts.
Absolutely.
That the companies need to be willing to give the writer their space at the same time as wanting to involve them.
Yes. Yeah. But it's I think it's by far the most successful things I've done, in my opinion, is when this really works. Yeah.
Finally, can you tell us, as a director, when you're looking for a new play or a new project, what is it that you're looking for if you pick up a text or a proposal or whatever?
It's about what do we want to what's the story? What do we want to tell? Why are we doing this? I mean, it needs to be important somehow. It needs to be something that, but it doesn't have to be like, I've done, pieces about violence, but also it can be about really just great art, the quality of great art for children. But it's, it just needs to be really important to me. Something I want to say. If it's a piece about why do we do Sebastian Bach for children? Why? To me it was, then maybe we can share some knowledge about what were the obstacles that he had, and what can children learn from that, or what can it tell them somehow.
So not only about his music.
No. Then it would be a musical piece, that would be
right.
kind of but and then maybe someone else would be better at doing that, if it was only about the music. It has to be some kind of story, some kind of an experience that the young audience can take with them and incorporate into their own lives somehow. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for participating in this interview.
Thank you.